Welcome to Smell the Coffee on a Friday with Aina Raiza Koyo and Ashwin Betty. And as usual, we hope you don't just smell the coffee. We want you to drink it. And we've got plenty for you to sip on today. How's it going?
It's going fantastic. How's it going?
No, it's Friday.
Yeah.
You know.
And you're wearing a suit looking dapper. Where are you going here after?
So it goes in progressions, right? So when we do Africa Good Morning, the jacket is closed.
Okay.
Smell the coffee, it's
open.
Then 3 p.m. sports rap, it's time for golf shirt.
All right.
Yeah, by the time it's 5 p.m., it's a whole different story.
All right. Let's talk about the most valuable thing or lesson you've learned this week, and also that you regret.
That I regret.
Yeah.
Wow. Oddly, they are tied together.
Okay.
The most valuable lesson that I learned was that if what you're doing doesn't work, who you are needs to change. But the reason the two are tied together is because that's also the same reason I don't have regrets, really, because whatever I may regret was essential for me to change.
Yeah.
And if I don't know what other paths life could have taken, that's the only path that I have. And if that's the path that leads to my betterment, no regrets over here. Any regrets on your end?
No, I don't regret anything. Everything I do for a reason, and if it doesn't work out the way that I intended it to work out, then I take it as a lesson, not as a regret.
Yes.
But one thing that I did learn this week was something from Nomza Mombata. She said you need to learn to push beyond self, because sometimes it's not the system, it's not the people around you that are holding you back, it's you.
It's you.
You are the problem.
I think generally that's the case, because we create our own realities, and this is not to say we create the bad things that come to us, but our responses to such things are ultimately what manifests the lives that we live.
Yeah, so today we want to inspire you to push beyond self, go out there and be visible in all areas of your life. We will return with more visible news that are trending on social media after the break.
E-Ticket, your online ticket solution for events and event marketing, bringing you ease of mind and making sure that your event gets out there. For more information, contact events@nhom.na.
All right, let's dive straight into the news stories. So for the last couple of weeks, Al Jazeera has been releasing a series of documentaries called Gold Mafia, where they have been exposing large gold smuggling operations where gold has been leaving Zimbabwe without any of the value coming in. Now, yesterday, part 4 was released, and let's talk about it, because Al Jazeera released an explosive clip from the documentary, and it's going to be screened today. So part 4 wasn't released, just the prelude to part 4. In the clip, now Ambassador Hubert Angel asks the First Lady of Zimbabwe about how the dirty money can be ferried to Zimbabwe. He asks if the money can be brought to Zimbabwe using the president's plane or private charter by the criminals who are actually undercover Al Jazeera journalists. The First Lady responds asking Angel to speak to the president before she hangs up. That is insane.
So all of them are involved.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
You know, I gotta go back home.
What?
Yeah.
So then why is she saying then speak to the president?
Well, because what is alleged
Or
here
ask permission from the president.
It is alleged that this is an operation that's been going on for decades. You know what I mean? This is something that is deeply entrenched in the Zimbabwean system, allegedly. But what I find interesting is that the president can charter a plane, and in one of the episodes they spoke about the president. Hubert Angel says the president has $250 million of his own personal money to sponsor the election, which every Zimbabwean has to ask since ZANU-PF has been in power since 1982. He has been a civil servant. We know his salary. the numbers don't add up.
Where did you get this money from?
Allegedly. So very interesting developments. It is very scary, I think, just to hear your first lady on a call, you know, in such nefarious circumstances. It makes you mistrust not just the entire system, but particularly the leadership of that system. And this is not, to me, necessarily, before we get into the legal aspects of it, just the optics, just the idea that this is something that can happen is enough to shake any Zimbabwean at the core, and any African indeed, because this is happening in an intercontinental way, and of course across borders.
I mean, I have no words and sentences.
But we did say crossing borders.
I said that in Oshwambo in my mind.
Oh, no, no,
so now I translated it to English.
There's nothing there. But speaking of crossing borders.
Hey, crossing borders, let's get into some more scary news. I think this story gets scarier and scarier by the day. Now, detectives are investigating the bodies that Dr. Nandi Pamagudumana claimed from the Mawamung State Mortuary, and what happened to them after bags of mealie meals and rotting wash was found in the coffins in the place of the body. So this auntie went to claim the bodies from the mortuary. Understand, right? 3 bodies. One, she said, was of her customary husband, which is Thabo Bester. One, she said, was the father's. One, she said, was a friend's brother. So those are 3 bodies in total. So she got coffins for them. These are dead bodies, got coffins for them. But instead of putting the bodies in the coffins, she rather instead put mealie meals and wash, you know, bure wash, wash in the coffin. And she held, or there are allegations that there was also fake funerals. She had mourners come to the funerals, and people were mourning. Hannah, this whole time people are crying. They are crying for
it's performance.
Wash
you know those aunties at the funeral who she'll be walking, and then when she's 100 meters from the funeral, she's falling.
But
others were falling.
Others were
to
falling.
The ground. Meanwhile,
Hannah,
but it's sad.
Meanwhile, is wash and mealie meals. And she claimed 1.5 million rand for each body. And insurance.
I think, what's been interesting about this is how people have been viewing it.
Allegedly.
There we go. How people, word of the day. So how people have been viewing this is that it's almost like they can't fathom the thought that perhaps Nandipa is an accomplice, in spite of all the facts.
But you know what Nandipa said in Tanzania? She said she told the police that she was being held against her will.
I mean, I think that's a defense that any reasonable lawyer who might be defending her would run with. But I also think at some point that, like energies attract. And you see this said across times. I believe Jesus may have said, I don't want to misquote Jesus, but show me your friends and I'll show you your character. And I feel like her being in such proximity isn't even the word, because she was a facilitator. It's very interesting, and the reason people are not registering that she potentially could be a sociopath is because she's a pretty lady who had her life together. If this was a pretty man who had his life together, I think we'd all be like, we knew he could have kind of done it. This is life. We're all human beings, and not all human beings are perfect, and not all human beings are good, and specifically some human beings are evil, and that is not up to how you dress, how you look, what your career is. I feel like the kind of crimes that Thabo Bester committed is enough for me to be like scared. When I see on TikTok when people are making TikToks and they're like, oh, I'm as loyal to my man as Nandipa is to Thabo Bester. It's like, these are sociopaths.
Yeah. And I'm excited. I'm actually very excited for this case. I'm following closely. On the 17th of April, which is Monday, Nandipa will be back in court, and she has been summoned to give information and also for a possible bail application. So I'm excited to hear what she's going to say in her defense. She'll appear on the same day as her father. Her father was also arrested for the bodies, the G-Force warden, and I think also another man, I think it's the man who was driving them, because when they were arrested in Tanzania, there were 3 of them. He would also appear on Monday, and they said Thabo is also supposed to appear in court, but they are like saying this man is very dangerous. We can't
They've got 24-hour surveillance on him.
We can't afford to take him out of the prison. What if he escapes again? So they are looking at the possibilities of having him on Zoom to attend, you know, the court session on Zoom and so forth. So yeah, Monday is on. Monday, I'll give you an update.
Oh yes, please comment.
Now, in our next story, in some bizarre news, your favorite father of 12, Nick Cannon, was asked on a particular show to name all his 12 children by name. And guess what? Your boy done forgot one of his child's name.
Okay, sorry to the child. in case Nick Cannon's child is watching this, I'm sorry for laughing. But this is also why I don't believe in polygamy. I don't, and I can break it down very simply. Yes, you can have multiple wives and have multiple children, but can you honestly say that you are contributing to each child's individual progression with intention? Are you present? That is something that is so crazy, because life is not wholesale. You can't just bulk order every single thing. We have to take care of the things that we bring in life. And this is an example, you know what I mean? I feel like if you're just making children because you have this image of a legacy, these are essentially accessories to who
really
you are.
Cannot buy quality time. I think a lot of people are like, okay, he's financially supporting all the children, but is he there?
How many rich kids do we know who just wish their fathers or mothers were there? I mean, come on, it's a no-brainer. And to forget your child's name, come on.
But there are also a lot of them.
No, also the name is Onyx. The name is Onyx.
Yes.
Onyx.
Onyx, I think.
Like the rock.
How you
like
have I don't know how to pronounce it. I would think it's Onyx.
Oh, okay. Anyway, speaking of forgetting, Manchester United forgot their own goal yesterday, and I mean that very literally. They scored 2 goals in the first half, and in the second half, they decided to score 2 own goals against Sevilla, and then drawing 2-2 in the Europa League. Now, Peter Schmeichel was not happy. This is a legendary goalkeeper for Manchester United. He said they should be embarrassed for what happened at Old Trafford, because despite their first half display of dominance, United was sluggish after the break and suffered a nightmarish second half, having already lost Rafael Varane in injury and Bruno Fernandes in the second leg to suspension. Let's talk about the journey of Manchester United this season. I would like to submit that this has been the most entertaining club in world football. Where did it start? Cristiano Ronaldo returns home. It is the homecoming of a man who has a statue in Portugal and arguably their best player ever. How does that end? Terribly. It is absolutely insane. But Ten Hag comes through, and it seems like Ten Hag is putting things together, and then they get to Anfield 7-0. We're talking about a record-breaking loss. You know what I mean? But the fans are not deterred. Why? Because Manchester United fans can do this unique thing where they can take Arsenal's losses and translate that into feelings of success. So on Sunday, when Arsenal drew with Liverpool, Manchester United supporters said, you guys conceded 2 goals when you had a 2-0 lead, and lo and behold, last night happens. Manchester United scoring 2 own goals, the second own goal in extra time from Captain Fantastic Harry Maguire. I love you guys.
I think the excitement is too much from Manchester United and also from you for their loss or for their draw. The excitement is too much. But keep the energy and the spirit up, because we have more Smell the Coffee after the break.
Tourismus Namibia is a weekly tourism show that brings you the latest news in the tourism industry and topics related to that. Tourismus aims at reaching travelers, accommodation, restaurant establishments, agricultural and financial institutions. The show focuses on tourism news, where to travel to fit your budget, 4x4 drives, routes and destinations, and so much more. Tourismus is broadcasted on NTV, 102.com and cross-chat on the following Facebook platforms: the Republikein, Algemene Zeitung, Namibian Sun and Namibia Media Holdings. Contact Tourismus at synergy.com.na for news and advertising related queries. Tourismus, bringing the world to Namibia.
You know, something beautiful about Windhoek isn't just the fact that it's always been known for having beautiful and clean roads. It's the hills, it's the scenery. And to me, sometimes I feel like you might want to jump out the car and ride a bicycle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it allows you to see more, you exercise at the same time. And we're talking to Horst Schenk from Wow E-Bikes in studio and how he thinks that e-bikes are very economically friendly for you.
Welcome to Smell the Coffee. I'm joined in studio by Horst Schenk from Wow E-Bikes, and he's here to tell us about his wonderful product. Good morning, and how are you doing?
Oh, very good morning. No, I'm doing fine.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. Can you tell me what makes Wow E-Bikes so wow?
It is a hassle-free experience.
Yeah.
So it's a good quality and it's very reliable. So you don't have any worries like you will be stranded next to the road or anything like that. No, you will get expert advice.
Yes.
And only top quality mechanical, electrical, electronic parts are used, and everything is tested prior to putting it on the market.
Wow. Okay, so can you tell us about the Wow E-Bikes? What products do you guys have? What services do you provide for?
We have, obviously, with any product, you get quite a number of accessories. So we will keep them all. We will keep, we keep all the space, and we'll do the services on it, so that we can offer. And then we have got a couple of models.
Oh, wow, nice. Why did you decide, how long has Wow E-Bikes been available in Namibia, before we get into the next question?
Okay, the first e-bikes as such came in last year into Namibia, but then it was directly from Wow E-Bikes in South Africa.
Yes.
And from this year on, we took the liberty and to go on with the e-bikes. So then we are a local agent for Wow E-Bikes.
I see. Now, why did you decide to take on this agency?
Well, because it's a hassle-free product that you can use. It is a good alternative to a green alternative to what is like a motorbike or a car, any combustion engine. So it's a good alternative. It's tested parts.
Yes.
It's very strong. So like you've got a 750 watt brushless motor. So not really maintenance on it, high quality powered battery, and also like the drive chain, everything. And it is tested for a couple of months before it's put on the market. So then I said, it's not like a generic model that's on the market and you just go along with it.
And I like that it's environmentally friendly, you know.
Yes.
We are trying to move towards being more cautious of our environment and what we put into the environment. So I love that about that. So I understand that you don't just cater to the men or women on the road, but the tourism sector. Can you expand into this?
Yes, it is. We cater basically for all sectors. That is recreational, commercial, tourism, farming, hunting. The limit is whatever your thoughts are about.
Oh, wow.
Especially like if you take mentioning the tourism side, because there is no noise. So you on the lodges, they can have like a sundowner, you go out with a bike, especially if it's a game lodge, and you can do even, obviously if the distance is not too long, for the people to cycle there, but obviously you are assisted with battery power on that one.
Oh.
So the game doesn't hear you because it's silent.
Oh, wow.
There is actually no noise to it.
Wow.
So
you are revolutionizing the industry, because most people would go hunting with a car, and that's a bit different because...
Yes, okay. Hunting is one side, but the others is, as I say, for the normal tourist.
Yeah.
You can have a sundowner or a game drive with the bike. So there's no car, no noise, no nothing.
Wow.
You are just suddenly there.
Wow. I love that. Now tell us about the bike itself. How is it put together?
Okay, it is assembled in South Africa. So that, and as I mentioned before, all the quality parts, the strongest, best that one can get, and that is for those bikes. And they are tested for that. So that's how they are put together. Strong controller, strong motor, extremely robust and with a long life expectancy, lithium-ion Samsung batteries, so to ensure it's fine. So that all the parts are selected to put down a really good product.
I think I've been saying a lot of wows this whole entire interview, which is good. It speaks to your brand and your agency.
Yes.
Now, how many models are there to choose from?
Currently, there are 5 models. They are called 20-inch step-through. Okay, the inch is referred to the size, the diameter of the wheel.
Yes.
Then there is a 26-inch step-through for women and the normal one for men.
Okay.
Then there is one that they call it the Pro 27.5-inch. That is equivalent to the normal bikes, the mountain bike type.
Oh.
And then there's one for kiddies. So that are the 5 models that are currently there. But as I mentioned, it will expand to 2 more during the year.
Well, I like I said, I'm thoroughly impressed. I would want to take on this. So I guess my options are the one for women or the mountain bike option, right?
Any of them.
Any of them. Oh, any of them.
I know you will like the 20-inch step-through most probably.
Yeah.
It has got a small carrier in front.
Oh, yes, please.
You can
for
put
my
one
bag and stuff,
on
yes.
the rear carrier. You can put a big basket.
Oh.
Or you can even put a second seat with foot pegs, and you can take somebody along on the back of the bike.
That's cool. I think I might be interested in that one. We
Yes.
need to talk after the show.
No problem. Be my guest.
So, still in the interview, what is your favorite WOW e-bike memory, and why is it your favorite?
Hassle-free, good quality. Then, as mentioned before, all parts are tested, selected, like also the whole frame, everything is aluminium alloy, so it doesn't rust.
Yeah.
The wheels are, the rims are double wall, so to make them quite strong. Stainless steel spokes, don't rust, are strong.
Yeah.
And so it just carries on.
Well, yeah, speaking to your experience, that's what I'm trying to probe into. You've been with the agency for quite some time now. What would you say was one of you, oh wow, I'm happy I'm part of this company because we have achieved so and so, or we have done this and this.
Yeah, okay.
So
As I said, like no hassles at all. Then also like the assistance, you've got the controller, so you've got like 5 settings, between 10 and 75% assistance when you pedal.
Yes.
And you've got the throttle, so especially for the uphills, when it gets tough, then you just push the throttle a bit more, you get a bit more assistance. You could even put the throttle on full, and then you do not need to pedal the uphill.
Okay, so before I let you go, where can clients get a hold of you?
The best to get hold of me, as I'm running around quite a lot on the road, it's difficult to reach me. The easiest is if they call me or send me a WhatsApp on my cell phone.
Yes.
My number 081 741 4417, or they can drop me an email at host@wowebikes.co.za.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for joining us in studio, for bringing this knowledge to us. I'm definitely looking forward to getting myself a bike from you guys. So thank you so much for joining us.
No, pleasure, and be my guest and come and visit me.
I was just joined in studio by Horst from WOW e-bikes, who told us about the importance of their bikes and why they're so much like a WOW.
Reaching higher to walk as one piece.
this has been our show. We definitely do hope that you had a fantastic time. Now, tomorrow for our weekend show, Glenora will be at the Senior National Athletics tomorrow. So tune in for Smell the Coffee at 8. And on that note, it's all our love, all our light, and adios.
Have a wonderful weekend.